Let's jump straight into this explainer about the undisputed queen of crime, Agatha Christie. Before she was a household name, she was actually a shy girl born in 1890 who desperately dreamt of being a concert pianist. But, well, she had severe stage fright. It literally halted her musical career before it even began. Lucky for us, though, she channeled all that immense creativity into something else entirely.
2 billion. That is the mind-blowing number of copies her books have sold globally. To put that figure into perspective, we're talking about a level of success where she shares the top-tier, best-selling space only with William Shakespeare and the Bible. It's just absolutely staggering.
So how did she get there? Growing up in Turkey as the youngest of 3, she was homeschooled by her mom, which really let her imagination run wild. She was inventing imaginary friends and obsessing over puzzles early on. Then World War I hits in 1914, the exact same year she married Archibald Christie, and Agatha volunteers at a local hospital. By 1920, boom, she publishes her first detective novel, The Mysterious Affair at Styles. But it was actually that hospital work that gave her a serious, real-world edge.
See, she wasn't just a regular nurse. She worked as a dispenser in the hospital pharmacy. That meant she learned the exact nitty-gritty properties of medicines, chemicals, and most importantly, poisons. This wasn't just random trivia. This hands-on knowledge allowed her to write ridiculously realistic murder mysteries. Her descriptions of poisonings were so spot on, actual medical experts frequently praised them.
Now, rather than relying on graphic violence, she championed what we call the fair play mystery. She focused entirely on psychology and logic. It's like she made a contract with you, the reader. She'd hide these dark secrets among seemingly ordinary people, but she would always give you enough clever clues to logically solve the crime yourself. Well, if you were paying close enough attention.
You can see this whole philosophy perfectly wrapped up in her 2 most iconic detectives. On one hand, you've got Hercule Poirot, the brilliant Belgian refugee. He's meticulous, rocks that signature waxed mustache, and constantly talks about his famous little gray cells. Then, completely flipping the script, you have Miss Marple. She's this elderly, gentle, deeply observant woman who solves brutal crimes simply by comparing them to everyday village life. She proves time and time again that sharp intelligence beats physical strength, hands down.
These characters felt so incredibly real to the public that when she finally wrapped up Poirot's storyline, something unprecedented happened. Hercule Poirot actually got a front-page obituary in the New York Times. Seriously. He remains one of the very few fictional characters in human history to ever receive that honor. That is the massive level of cultural impact we're dealing with here.
But honestly, her real life had a massive, jaw-dropping twist right in the middle of it. In December 1926, she suffered 2 huge blows. Her mother passed away, and she shockingly discovered her husband wanted a divorce. And then, Agatha Christie literally just vanished. For 11 whole days, the most famous mystery writer on the planet became a real-life missing person. Thousands of people scoured the countryside looking for her. Eventually, she was found hiding out quietly in a hotel, checked in under a different surname. So what actually happened? Well, historians still fiercely debate this today. Was it an emotional breakdown from extreme stress? Was it temporary amnesia? We're probably never going to know for sure, because Christie never publicly explained it. She took that secret right to her grave. Following that divorce, her life took a really fascinating turn. She married a famous archaeologist, Max Mallowan, and traveled with him on these massive excavations across Iraq, Syria, and Egypt. And she didn't just sit on the sidelines. She actually loved archaeology and would get right in there, cleaning ancient artifacts herself. These travels directly sparked some of her absolute masterpieces, like Murder in Mesopotamia and Death on the Nile.
Yet, it's funny, despite globetrotting and exploring ancient wonders, inspiration often hit her in the most mundane situations. She actually noted that she'd plot out her incredibly complex stories while simply washing dishes. She said the repetitive task just freed up her mind to think. Proof that genius can literally strike anywhere, even at the kitchen sink.
But her talents weren't just limited to murder. Christie also wrote these deep, emotional romance novels under the pen name Mary Westmacott. Oh, and on top of that, she was a wildly successful playwright. Her most famous play, The Mousetrap, opened in London in 1952 and became the longest-running stage play in the entire world. It played continuously for decades, only ever taking a break for the COVID-19 pandemic.
If we look at her lifelong output, it's just staggering. 66 detective novels, around 150 short stories, over 20 plays. translated into more than 100 languages. And in 1971, her massive contributions to literature were formally recognized when she was made a Dame Commander of the Order of the British Empire. Talk about an unmatched work ethic, right?
So what does this all mean for us today? The real takeaway here is that Agatha Christie permanently transformed detective fiction. She didn't just write stories for an audience, she wrote them with us. By weaving intricate puzzles with really sharp observations of human nature, she actively invited every single reader to play detective right alongside her.
She passed away in 1976 at age 85, but her legacy? It is still captivating modern crime writers and filmmakers everywhere. She is, without a doubt, the undisputed Queen of Crime. So, as we wrap up this explainer, I have a question for you. The next time you pick up a book or throw on a mystery, are you ready to fire up your own little gray cells, piece together the clues, and crack the case?